As you guys can see, I am a little bit puffy because of the surgery, the oral surgery that I had. I just basically wanted to talk about just even not taking things for granted a little bit because a lot of times, I know, can just take a lot of things for granted, from my health to the people around me, and I try my best to just be very cognizant of that and to just realize how valuable it is, the things that we have in our lives, is including our health, and even just being able to participate in school, because a lot of times, like, I'll be honest, guys, like, I almost was not gonna do this live even today because I was feeling so drowsy earlier today, and I just started thinking about how sometimes even a wisdom tooth surgery like this can impact you guys' performance on an academic level. And I was just also thinking about how it can put a barrier to you reaching your goals because of the pain that you're going through. Maybe you guys even had to even take certain pain medications to get through the surgery it is that you're going through, and it takes a damper on your school performance. And I can only imagine, like, thankfully I'm not a student right now, but I can only imagine what this would mean, something like this would mean for you guys on an academic level. And I'm just kind of just imagining that, and if you had to go through that on as a student while you were an undergrad, like, kudos to you, because, I'm already past all that schooling stuff, but I can't imagine going through this as a student. All 4 of my wisdom teeth were taken out, and it's been a drag. Today, I basically, it just even got me thinking about the whole aspect of commitment and being committed to our goals. And I think goals is something that, especially as an OT, you're going to be talking about a lot when you are going through your classes, because here's the thing. As an OT, you're going to be helping people reach their goals. And I want to basically get you guys to the point where you guys realize that committing to your goals and committing to your patients is what is going to even help you continue going. Because the thing is that as you help people and as you go through OT school, they're going to be teaching you guys about how goals are SMART. And that's an acronym that they taught me when I was in school, and it stands for SMART, reliable, it starts, S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for timely. And if there's any time that you're going to set a goal for yourself, you need to make sure that your goals are basically SMART, that your goals are SMART, that they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and timely. Now, because here's the thing, if you set yourself a goal, first off, that is not specific for you, for your patients, then there obviously is not going to be anything to work towards. As you go through OT school, that's the cool thing. They're going to be teaching you how to make your goals even more and more specific. I wanted to talk about that. A lot of times when you think about the specificity of the goals, you just can't be, I want to get into OT school. You can't just be, I want to be an OT. You need to start already narrowing down what it is that you want out of your career and out of your education. So for some of you, that may be to go to a school in a particular location. It doesn't even have to be a specific school, but maybe it's in a specific in your hometown. That is getting specific. So now your goal and getting what you want out of your life, out of your academic career, starts getting more narrowed down and better focused, because you are being quote unquote SMART. So you're getting specific. Is it measurable? Now, a lot of times too, we don't put measures on our goals. we'll forget that aspect of things. Even if it comes to losing weight. Oh, I just want to lose weight. Like, that obviously is not very specific or measurable on top of that. So one of the ways that you can even measure how it is that you are doing in terms of reaching your goals in getting into OT school is just by being able to mark down all the prerequisites that you have been taking and seeing the increase in your GRE scores, by seeing the increase in maybe a previous test scores, and holding on to those measurable quantitative things that you can see. Because here's the thing, as you go on through the OT journey and through your OT career, there are many measurable things that you can look at. You can look at the fact that, okay, maybe at first you had 5 prerequisites missing, right? Because you had no idea what OT even was. Now, because you're looking at your goal from a measurable standpoint, you're looking at it from a point of view of, okay, I had 5, now I have 2 left. And that just kind of keeps you going a little bit more, and it keeps you just more energized and working toward that goal. Like, if you just stop even looking at it, the goal is to get into OT school versus, and instead start looking at it, let me complete this prerequisite with an A. Now you just start getting more specific, you're getting more measurable, and I just want the A, which is the attainable part. Want you guys to realize that these goals that you guys have for yourselves on an academic level really are attainable, and they're attainable when you are basically, number one, put yourself in the right mindset. Number 2, you have the right people around you to basically keep you going. Part of also setting SMART goals for yourself is making sure that they are attainable. A lot of times we set goals for ourselves that are not attainable within the right time frame, or they're not attainable within just at that moment, because the goal of getting into OT school itself is attainable, and that's what you guys need to realize. It is attainable, and I just want you guys to realize that if you set yourself up for success and you get to the point of having completed all your prerequisite requirements, you don't have anything missing, and you get to the point of improving your GRE score and showing them that you have done everything possible to get into OT school and committed yourself to it, then it's going to become more attainable to you. So that's the thing. As you set your goals, is it attainable for you even at that time? Maybe right now there's a lot of things going on in your life that maybe it doesn't make OTs, like certain classes right now, attainable, but that doesn't mean you can't be working on the goal itself. You could be working on other things to reach your overall goal of getting into OT school. But the overall arching goal of getting into OT school is attainable. So you have to remember to keep your goals specific. Is it measurable and attainable? Okay, the other one that I also wanted to address is keeping it relevant. You don't want to set yourself to, oh, I'm going to get 100 hours, because then you're going to set yourself up for failure. And you're like, well, that just seems like so much. I'm never going to reach those 100 hours. Versus as, you know what? This month, here's my goal. This month, we're getting specific now. This month, I'm going to get 100 hours at this location with this occupational therapist. And you're not, like, you keep it attainable. You're not saying I'm going to get 100 hours this month. You're saying, you know what? Maybe I'm going to get 10. And as the time goes on, you're going to see those hours accumulate. Specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant to your overall arching goal of getting into OT school. And then the last thing, as I've kind of already basically alluded to, is that your goals have to be time bound, and you have to set a deadline for those guys. So like that, as you're working toward it, then you can make sure that you are attaining those goals by the specific time that you have set. Now, when I was a pre-OT student, I know I got into a very health craze. I got into a health craze. And I basically started to wanting to get into all these workouts and trying to do CrossFit, and I was a total beast actually. But the main reason why I even hit these goals and why I was even later on, as of last year, even able to do a half marathon was because I kept my goals smart. I was specific. I said today, for example, when it came to running, I'm gonna run 2 miles, which is specific, it's measurable, and stuff like that. Like you could set yourself short-term goals and long-term goals, and it's about also committing to them. And I know that it's a lot easier said than done, because a lot of times as we go through these goals, we have them in our mind, and they may be specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant and time-bound, but if we're not committed to them, then nothing is going to happen. And so I basically wanted to just kind of share a little bit how I was able to achieve some of my goals. And I think that what has helped me is the accountability and having people in my life that just always keep me going, and celebrating the small wins as well. That's number 2. I think has also really, really helped me in reaching those goals, because you can have all the smart goals that you want in the world, but if you're not committed to them, then it's not going to be of any use to you. So commitment to these SMART goals is key. As you celebrate these small wins, you can celebrate the fact that maybe you got 10 hours. Being committed and staying true to that goal. If one place is not willing to take you for your observation hours, your ultimate goal is still to get those observation hours so you can get into occupational therapy school. So you keep it specific. Maybe this week you message 2 OTs that you can talk to so you can get into OT school. I think that's how what's one of the best ways is to keep it smart, get the accountability, celebrate the small wins. When you get those 10 hours, you celebrate that, because you didn't have 10 hours just maybe last week. You didn't have maybe 20 hours or 30 hours a month ago. So you need to remember that and just keep that momentum going and share that with your friends that are basically in your corner supporting you. The last thing that I think also helps a lot when trying to commit to these goals is your mindset. Mindset is just so key when committing to your goals, guys. And I think that when you shift your mindset from one of, okay, I have all these obstacles in front of me, and this is going on, and this is going on, and that is going on, and I can't do it because of this reason, then what's happening there is that you're so focused on the problem that you just stay stagnant and you don't move forward, and I think that that's one of the worst things that you can do. And again, like, I get that it's a lot easier said than done. Like, I recognize that. I don't want to just make it seem like it's this hip hip hoorah, anyone can do it type of thing. But mindset is just so key if you're going to commit to these goals. And Rita says, I try to take it one day at a time. It doesn't help to look at my past mistakes. No, it doesn't. And dwell on them. Mindset is also key, she says. It's true. Your past mistakes, if you failed a class, there's nothing you can do about that. What can you do about that? Like, you have to set yourself a new goal of, okay, I have to retake this class and I'm going to get this grade, and I'm going to retake this class that semester, get specific about it, measure it. You see, obviously grades are measurable, and stop dwelling on the past. That's why mindset is of the most essence when dealing with goals, because again, you can have all the SMART goals in the world. That does not mean that you're going to attain it if you do not commit to these goals. If you're going to reach your goals, commitment is key, and you have to remember to make these goals SMART. I'll leave you with that. I urge you to remember to keep your goals SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, as well as looking at accountability, celebrating the small wins, and checking your mindset so you can reach those goals.